Welcome to the channel, everyone, and welcome to another King Arthur Legends Rise video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. I want to start by giving a massive shout out to Nat Marbles for sponsoring today's video. I've been playing King Arthur Legends Rise since the early release, guys. It has been probably around, what, 4, 5, maybe even 6 months. Time is just kind of like flying, and personally, I've been having a blast. I am covering the game on my other YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out. I will be leaving the link in the description down below. If you want to get involved, if you want to download the game, you can do so by clicking the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. The game is cross-platform, available on PC, available on mobile. They have their own PC client. You can download it from Steam as well. So basically, you can play it from home or on the go. Now, I've been talking about King Arthur quite a bit, right? I've done tons of videos even on this channel as well. But in today's video, guys, I actually want to talk about something that I've recently discovered. And it's thanks to you guys, some of you that commented on one of my previous videos. Basically, I want to talk about Aine, okay? I know I'm not pronouncing her name properly because I think it might be an Irish name and you pronounce it completely different. But leaving all that on the side, I've never really looked at her as a damage dealer, right? The main thing is she's an amazing support champion. And I got her a very long time ago, right? And I have been using her, but I can safely say that I have been using her wrong, okay? And in today's video, I'm going to show you how busted she actually is, because my god, she can do so much freaking damage. She's actually just crazy, okay? And I'm gonna show you my new build and basically what you can do with Aine. Now, before we get to that part, if you guys want to put your hand on free rewards for King Arthur Legends Rise, you can click on the link in the description down below and you can start supporting my channel through the supporter creator program. You don't have to download anything, it doesn't cost you nothing, and you're gonna be able to start claiming free rewards. And plus, like this, you're gonna get to help and support the channel, which I really appreciate. Coming back to Aine, guys. So, let me just quickly walk you through the passive skills. So, the very first one, when using the skill 3, attacks all enemies twice, total damage 78% attack, and damage increases according to the effect resistance. Total additional damage per stat, 2% attack. Which means that the more effect resistance you have on her, the more damage you are going to deal, which is pretty damn crazy. Now, this is something that I actually kind of like overlooked at the beginning. With the second passive, when using the second skill, 100% chance to grant each ally counterattack trigger rate increase to 4 turns, and 100% chance to grant each ally critical strike increase to for 1 turn. Which, once again, really good buffs. And this is something that, yeah, I have been using her for it, right? Then the third passive, when an ally is hit, there's a 60% chance to trigger, 100% chance to increase the duration of each ally's buff by 2 turns, and 100% chance to remove a debuff from each ally. Then we have, of course, the relics. Now, I'm going to show you the the Frost Relic and the Fire Relic. I was going to say I have the Storm Relic as well, but I haven't been using that one. As you guys can probably notice, the passives are fully maxed. My Chivalry is only Chivalry 6. The higher I go, the better, right? Till we're gonna max her. Then, of course, the Relic is almost maxed, which will, of course, deal additional damage as well. You're gonna get to basically self-buff, buff the entire team. You guys know the drill, right? Now, I do like the Frost Relic the most in most cases. And that's basically because we're getting increased attack. Right here, we're getting effect resistance increase. We're getting defense increase, which is pretty helpful. But I do like the Fire Relic as well, especially on the new dungeon, which, by the way, I will be releasing a different guide on my other channel, so feel free to check it out. This is not maxed just yet, the Relic. I still have a little bit of work to basically max the skills. But this will attack all enemies and deal damage. This right here, once again, it will cleanse and it will give attack increase speed. So both of these relics are actually really strong. Now, when we are talking about equipment, I actually have her at the moment on a strife set, I have her on an attack, and I have her on a critical rate set. On the bottom, I would personally love to get a focus set, but unfortunately, it's so hard to get those materials And I don't really have any good pieces to make a full 3-piece set, so I decided to go with a strife set for the moment. In the future, once I'm going to be able to get a good focus set, I will most likely change it, because that will give us a buff at the beginning of the fight, which, if I remember it correctly, it will be effect resistance increase, which is going to be massive, massive for her, right? Then, talking about what sort of stats we have on her, right? So, right here I have an attack percentage. I am trying to look for substats with effect resistance as much as possible. Right here we have another attack one. We see effect resistance, no crit rate or crit damage. Right here I have attack speed. I do want her to have some speed, because at the end of the day she is buffing as well the rest of the team. So that's very, very important for me to make sure that she gets to buff before the other allies are taking a turn. I have an effect resistance belt. I cannot wait to get a 6-star so I can actually get more effect resistance. I have a hit accuracy magic orb. The same. I'm looking for a 6-star with better substats. And I have a Pierce banner. Truth be told, I haven't really tried any other banner. When I saw that I got 15 speed on this one, I had effect resistance, attack percentage. I was like, yeah, that's the one. I'm going to use this one. So I'm happy with that. Total stats. We have 3.8k attack, 2.4k defense, 30k HP, 211 speed, almost 60% crit rate, 41% crit damage, 60% effect resistance, and we have 28% hit accuracy, 17.12% pierce, guys, which honestly is definitely not bad. More effect resistance would be amazing, and same with the attack. But as I mentioned, the chivalry is not max, so I can still gain attack and defense from there. I can still gain a crit rate from here, which is 20% crit rate. This will actually be massive, and right here I can gain more attack. I'm only 4 chivalry away from getting her max, so most likely in probably a month or so I will have her maxed. Let's actually dive in and show you what sort of damage she can actually do. A resistance set instead of the crit rate could potentially work as well if you have something good on. So first, I'm actually gonna go on to let's go to Plains of Beasts, right? So I'm gonna show you basically what we can do. We're gonna go with this team, and I'm gonna manual it. I'm gonna manual it just to show you the damage. Now, one thing that is working so much better for her is having a lot of targets, because she does deal AoE damage. She doesn't deal crazy strong single target damage, but her AoE damage is actually really, really good. So I'm gonna buff here to get an increased attack. We're gonna get a counter attack on the team. So when we're gonna get attacked, we're gonna get to basically slowly break that barrier faster, you know. So let's hit the boss right there. Let's try to apply that defense down if we haven't done it just yet. Okay, we have it twice, actually almost 3 times right there was happening. Then let's use this. Okay, so we broke the shield on the boss, and right now we're gonna use the A3 skill from Aine, and that's when the passive is going to proc. Remember, this Frost Relic doesn't actually attack to deal damage, unlike the Fire one. So this is the Frost one. Look at the damage. 158,000 damage, guys. 158. We literally almost took the boss down, okay? So now I can self-buff again because of the Strife set. We destroyed one of the body parts, and that gave us an extra turn. Self-buffed. We got Drain. We got a counter-attack on right here, which almost broke the shield on the boss. Really, really good. And as I was mentioning at the beginning, I never really looked at her as a damage dealer. And to be honest, I'm really, really impressed with the damage that she deals. And it's even better with the Fire Relic, where she's constantly dealing damage when she is using that skill. Because right now, you see, she's not actually attacking with any of those skills. So I can actually put the boss... take the boss out of his misery, basically. But she is top DPS in this team right here. So battle stats, look at that. You have Aine with 62% damage dealt. Then you have Kai with barely any damage because she just hit the shield. You have Tristan with 24%, Morgana with 13%. So she dealt crazy good damage. Now, if we are going to quickly change the relic, and we're going to come back to this stage, then we're going to go over to a different dungeon where we actually have more AoE enemies. Let's go versus this boss one more time, but with the fire relic this time around. This is something that I actually haven't tried yet. So I've maxed the relics in terms of like awakening them and ascending them, but I haven't fully skilled this one yet. And I still need, I think, one more level on the frost one, which once again is just work in progress. Nothing that's gonna hold us back, right? So we're gonna buff with the A2 just to make sure we're gaining the buffs as well from the passives, which is really, really helpful. Let's go for that shield. Take the shield down. Beautiful. So we have Morgan putting that defense down. Tristan, I know, like, don't want you to do anything too crazy, but hey, let's do it. Okay, he does deal pretty good damage now as well that I changed the build on him a couple of months ago. So now if we're going to go with the A3, you see we had a 46,000 from the relic, and then we had 130k from the passive. So really, really solid damage. And right now I can use this again and deal another AoE damage. 25k. Pretty damn good damage, man. And as I've mentioned, it might not seem as important versus this boss because it's a single target. But when you're going versus the new dungeon, that's where you're going to see how powerful she actually is. So let's try to break that shield. And maybe Aine can deal the final blow in here. Yep. I think she should be able to. Let's see. Okay, that was only a little damage right there. I feel like we did not have all of the buffs that we needed on. Okay, so boss down. Let's see how much damage we got from her. So the initial hit with the Storm Relic felt bigger, right? Like it seemed like we had 150k rather than 120 or 130. But still, 69% of the damage dealt. It's just crazy for a support hero to deal so much damage. And I was just not using her right, okay? And I'm not even ashamed to admit it, right? Now, if we're gonna head onto the equipment dungeon, Podurge Sanctuary, and if we're gonna head over right here. Now, I'm gonna let this go on full auto. I actually have a pretty good build on Claricin as well, and this will just absolutely demolish the boss as well. So I'm quickly gonna show you the presets. So here, unfortunately, I cannot really select when I want her to use the A2 and then the A3, which kind of like sucks in a way or another because I do want her to buff with the A2 as well. So we're gonna have to switch it just a little bit at the boss because I want that to basically work properly, right? To be spot on. Even though on auto, I don't usually do that, but you see, pretty good damage right there. Look at 104k damage. And we had the initial hit of like, what was it? 41k, I think. You guys can see the damage down below anyway. So pretty crazy damage, huh? She's going to smoke Claricin in here, which is pretty crazy thinking about it because Claricin is an actual damage dealer. So what I'm going to do right here quickly, if I can, I'm actually going to let her prioritize that. And after I'm going to change it again. So we're going to let her use that once, at least to put that counter attack up from the passive. And the other buffs as well, of course. So we got that up and running. Now we're going to change her. So we're going to do that. It is just this time around, you know, just to make sure they're kind of like putting everything on. Now, of course, we're going to get crazy good buffs from Nika as well. We're going to get buffs from Aine as well. Morgan will put that defense down. So everything in here will be pretty spot on, especially Aine's damage, which will pile up pretty damn good, actually. So we have 5 adds in here. That's where you really see her true value as a damage dealer. Now, I've seen people using Aine in here, and in pretty much a lot of other dungeons. I always assume that it's mainly there to buff, right? Like, you're getting a lot of good buffs from her, which will enable Bedivere, will enable an Irat together to just wipe the boss, you know, one shot, two shot the boss. I never really thought about her as a damage dealer, dealing like 150k damage with one skill, which is just damn, it's just crazy. And it's so helpful versus this dungeon, guys, because we have the adds that we constantly need to kill to ensure that we are actually damaging the boss, right? And not just that, it's just she is bringing very important buffs in here as well, you know? So I feel like it's a massive, massive win with her in the team. Bang, look at that. Beautiful damage. And as I was mentioning, it's not crazy, crazy single target damage or anything fancy like that. It's just super good AoE damage, right? Really, really strong. So if you're wondering how to build your Aine, guys, that's how. Because this is honestly, without a doubt, the most busted build for her. And she's so freaking busted like this, you know? Like, she can support your team, deal crazy, crazy damage. Just wait till the end, and you're gonna be in for a surprise. I can already tell you that. The next thing that I'm looking to swap in this team is, of course, dropping Clarisin for Irat now that I summon her, you know? So that should make it a bit faster as well, because Irat deals better damage. We're gonna apply Mark on the enemies too, which will reduce a bit their stats. But look at that. 40k, 89, 107k. Like, damn, a lot of hits in there. So we need to kill the ads in here, the minions, the harpies, in order to damage the boss. I'm sure you guys are familiar. I actually released a different video on this dungeon, a guide, and I had no idea that they were planning to basically change how Sergius was working in this dungeon, guys. And I still had to post that video because it got approved by them, you know, but I had no idea that they've changed that, and it came in as a surprise because I've seen a lot of you guys commenting saying, Scratch, I'm sure you recorded this video a week ago, but now it's not working as it was before, right? So apologies for that. I will be posting a video on this team, most likely on my other channel, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. Okay, so the boss should be down, and look at that. The damage from Aine is going to blow your mind, okay? Look at that, guys. 59%. Clarisin, 12%. Then you have, of course, Morgan with 14%. Now, Clarisin seems like she got a bit crowd control or something like that, maybe too much. Either way, you would expect a bit more damage from her as well, right? But the damage from Aine is just like blowing my mind. 59%, guys. So, as I've mentioned, this is the best way to build your Aine, because she becomes absolutely busted on this. Honestly, crazy, crazy good. Literally, top damage dealer out of a support hero. But as usual, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and make sure you guys click on the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment to download King Arthur Legends Rise and come join me. I will leave the link to the Discord for our clan as well, guys. We have the most active community in King Arthur Legends Rise, the Celestials. We have like 20 plus active guilds. So if you are looking for a guild, guys, make sure you guys come join our Discord, and we're 1000% gonna have a home for you. Big shout out to Netmarbles for sponsoring today's video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.